Huh. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at right now. Let me get my gloves here and take a look at you. I see your bone formation is quite odd, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that, study it really quick here. Just a little quick study with my gloves. Got my notebook over here. Okay, let's start with a measuring tape. Okay, so the bones got quite an interesting dynamic going on with the different depths and planes of your being. So I'm just taking a look here, and then I'm gonna map out everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 2. Wow. Okay. Can't forget any of this, and I don't imagine that I'll ever see you again. Gosh, it's so weird. Just getting a page. Okay, just taking a look here. Just drawing a general sort of. You've got this sort of geometric shape about you. Each of your bones are rather flat, and they protrude or they go in sort of valleys and hills across the face. I'm just sort of mapping out. That was 6. That was 5. Mapping out some of the values that I can see. So we're just going to continue here. 7. Okay, so we're just going to write that down. 5. Just moving some of my tools. I'll move this one just over there for now. Okay, we've got 4, 5.6, 7 there. Okay. Yeah, the way that they connect is really interesting. Yeah, that's all pretty symmetrical. Write that down. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over there as well. 6, 4. Okay, like that. Just gonna go ahead and pop these off. 1 and 2. Can move this over there now. Just gonna sort of pinch this bone, I guess, just a little bit here. And remove that. Okay, that's good. Use this one again, okay? Just opening it up. Pinching the skin just a little bit, or the bone, sorry. And we'll remove that for we're studying. Let's see if that had any sort of effect. Yeah, all of the measurements look very similar. I'm just going to write down some of my findings. You know, for as weird of a fellow as you are, so far everything's been very predictable, which I appreciate. You know, sometimes I find things out in the wild and it ends up being a sort of battle of trying to understand what I'm even looking at. You're very symmetrical and seems pretty predictable. It's just a matter of understanding what you are and what are each of these little divots used for to your bone structure. What is it used for? And how did you come out that way, you know? I think that that's probably the most important part of it all. 5 up there. Let's write that down. 5. Good. 7. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's sort of a square formation. Like that. Looking good. So far, all of my measurements have been very good. They're all very useful. So I really appreciate that. I think the measuring has been probably the easiest part about all of this. Obviously, I don't know how well the rest of it's going to go. It could go, very well, very not so well. Or I guess not so well, it would just be confusing, convoluted. But right now, it's pretty easy understanding the different aspects of your bone structure, because it kind of goes down, like that, there. So, okay. Let's just take a look here. I'm just gonna write. Okay. 4, 5, 3, 8, there. Seems like certain aspects are rather harmonious, pretty even across. Like that down there. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and roll up my measuring tape now. I think I got all the measurements that I need. Definitely probably went overkill, but I tend to do that. I like to be really thorough with this sort of stuff. I like to make sure that I'm, really taking a look at all the things I need to, getting all the information. I often don't get to see the types of things that I study more than once, so I gotta try and get out what I can without taking up too much time. I'm gonna be using these instruments, these wooden instruments, to just take a look at the structure of your bones. I'm just gonna be running along them and just sort of literally just mapping out the different shapes, the different forms, divots, valleys, all that sort of stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of be going like that. Taking a look here and just seeing who knows? Is it all made of the same texture? Does it all feel the same? Does it not perform, but behave the same way, is it predictable in its manner and weight and pressure and all of that sort of thing? So I'm just sort of taking a look here. Just a little bit at a time, gliding the tools across the planes. So far, so good. It's as expected. And just getting a little closer with more detailed with my movements, trying to work really small, taking a look at all of the details that can often be missed. Like that. Alright, just a little bit more here before I start writing down my findings. Just taking a look. And trying to memorize all the information that I can. Let's write this down. So far, I'd say predictable. It's a great word to describe you. Nothing out of the ordinary behavior. Structure of the entity. Perfect. Should be good. I don't want to rush this, but I'm kind of excited because after I'm done my work day, I'm going to be getting a PS3. I'm buying it second hand, and I'm trying not to let it, sink into my brain and get me distracted because I'm pretty excited about it, but gotta stay focused on my job here. But it'll be really nice. I like collecting retro and older games and physical media and stuff, so. But just focusing here and still looking good, still just sort of mapping out with my wooden tools here to understand the sounds might be slightly different from side to side, but I think that's really only been it as far as what I've noticed. Other than that, the structure is quite sound, quite conceivable. I probably could have made a Very interesting, though. You definitely intrigue me. Let's just put these down. How about that? And write out a few more things. Okay. Grab another instrument here just to measure how flat all the structure is. So far, so flat. Okay. Slowly scraping away here. Like very gently too. Looking good. Alrighty, put that away for future reference. Got my next tool here. Okay. Just sort of taking a look at some odd angles, getting the light picture, noticing how light bounces off the object, how light behaves on the object, the entity. There. Over there. Seems pretty normal. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I think the light pen gave me some good details. I'm just gonna use this side here for the measurements that it has, just to make sure. Okay, seems normal. Use this next wooden tool. Okay. Interesting. Sort of got hyper focused on my task at hand. Okay. The Their tool performs as expected, as well as the other wooden pick, all performing as I would expect. Let's make notes of our findings. Okay, just some basic notes here. Let's go ahead and move on to next test. Sort of using the tool to continue seeing how flat and level the areas are. Okay. Seems very level to me. Like that. Just going through and testing all of the areas. Sometimes testing them multiple times just to make sure nothing has changed. And just sort of taking the tool here and ensuring that everything looks good here. Just like so. Mapping out the areas as best as we can. And focusing here. So, alrighty. This tool works really well for this purpose of inspection. And continuing that along. Like so. Okay. That's good for that tool. Let's just put that over there. Just gonna start to feel the area just with my fingers. And using focus here too. Understand what it is I'm looking at, of course. be the index, like so. So again, just continuing the inspection here. I've got this dual-ended tool, plastic metal with metal on either end. This one doesn't fully pinch, it just measures, the thickness, right? And this one we can see and run it along to better understand the bone structure. So let's just continue here using this tool. Very helpful. I'd say this one's definitely up there in tools that I find to be important. This one is one of the ones that's like almost an underdog. You wouldn't even necessarily notice how important it is until you start doing this for yourself, and then you start to go, I can see why. It's up there, Alrighty, just gonna write down my findings again. Tools, noted, okay. Also gonna grab this next tool. It's got this rubber bit that clamps towards a metal joint. So let's just use this too. Get all the samples that we need. Then we can run a lot more tests inside of the lab. Okay, keep track of those. Put that in my bag. As well as my measuring tape. This as well. I want to try and keep everything that we can to help us study this in the lab. Which will be really where we get most of the information from. Sadly, there's only so much that I can learn out in the field. Mostly it's more trivial knowledge. Alrighty. Go ahead and put away my wooden tools as well here. And continue here. Making sure all the information matches with what I've written down, just to ensure that I don't know, maybe didn't get confused or anything like that. But it looks like everything is accurate as it's written. Okay. Yep. Looking good. Let's go ahead and double check some of our notes here. Okay. And done. Close up the notebook. And I'm just going to